Hi, this video is to teach you how to do the progress and documentation page that you will keep up once a month throughout the remainder of the school year. I'll give you what we did for August, so don't worry if you are concerned that you haven't done something specific to the project. You really have done something, and I'll show you what. The first thing we're going to do is just build the page itself. So log into your website and then go to the progress and documentation page. That's what I'm already on. What the nice thing is, if you did the Zurich bikes, is that this heading here, we're just going to change. Make it look like all of our other ones. So progress and documentation. And then I'm going to save that. If you had the Berlin Cupcakes or any other template, you can add a heading or change a heading if it's already there. Remember to add anything, click on Add Element. This would be a heading, and it would be the large heading. However, since I already have one, I'll just delete that element. What's nice is that this already had the horizontal line. If you look back at your Me and My Goal page, you want it to be uniform. So if you have your heading and then a horizontal line, make sure you have a heading and a horizontal line on all of your subsequent pages, just so that they all look the same and look really good. If you didn't put the line and still don't want a line, you don't have to put a line. Next thing to do is go through and delete all of the images of the bicycles, cupcakes, whatever it is. We don't need it or want it, so we're just going to delete everything that was already here. There's a space here. Remember, they add spaces sometimes. I'm going to delete that space. If you want it, or you decide later that you want white spaces, whatever it is, that's just another element that you can add. What I'm going to do is add my element. I'm going to do a heading. This one will be medium, and I'm going to go through and make one for each of the months. We're just going to build the whole page, and then you only have to fill in the blanks for the rest of the year. Luckily, I had a student who taught me that you can just duplicate this element and then change the text. So you click on that little button right below the trash can, and you can duplicate, and it saves you a couple of clicks. Hopefully I get my months right. Okay, that's got all of my months for me. What's nice is that that saved as I duplicated each element, and I only had to save that last one. So we've got all of our months in order. I'm going to need a text box for the progress update for each of the months. So what I'm going to do is duplicate again, and then this time when that duplicated box shows up, I'm going to press the down arrow. Duplicate, down arrow, duplicate, down arrow, again and again until I get to the bottom. That down arrow is going to move it so that I have a heading in between each one and makes life a lot simpler, which is great. Okay, now as you can see, I've got all of my months and then a text box ready for each one. From here, you get to decide how you add your documentation. Don't forget that you must be in at least one of your documentation images or videos. So it can't be a picture that you took of the sky. I want it to be that you've asked someone to take a picture of you taking a picture of the sky. And then you could also include that picture of the sky if you want to, but this is your proof that you are doing the project. So make sure that you are featured in each of your documentation months at least once. And then after that, add as many pictures as you so desire. Okay, so I'm going to show you some different things that you could add. I'm going to give you an example from my website from last year. All right, on my progress and documentation page, I have all the different types of images and videos that you can include. So for the first one, I did the text box with the photo, and that looks like this when you're choosing options. So if you want the picture to come first and then your write-up, that's fine. If you want it to come after, you decide that placement. I'm okay with either one. So that first one that I had on my example website is this text with photo option. So if you want that, do that one. Other examples that I have, this one is a slideshow, so it's gonna cycle through a couple of different photos because I couldn't pick just one and I liked the look of a couple of photos. So you could do that, and then I put all my write-ups underneath. In October, I did video clips for each one, and then I put these in columns so that they could be side by side. I liked that it took up more of the page instead of leaving a big blank space right here and then having it underneath. They're side by side. I did that by doing columns, and then in each column I put a video. So let's say you wanted a video and then a photo, right? You could do that and have those be the elements that you put there, right? And you can change it every month. It actually looks really cool if you do change it up and don't just do a single photo or whatever it is every month. This one, I did the grid option. So when you're in here, you add that element, you choose photo gallery, and then you have a lot of different options. So I can put in a bunch of different photos here and they'll line up horizontally, like that one from New York I just showed you in my example one. You can do one where it kind of mixes them in both vertically and horizontally. You can do a grid, which looks like this one. This is the grid. It's got a bunch of my different cooking pictures. I am in some of them, so I follow that requirement. Or you can do the slideshow like we saw with the Mount Rushmore images that I did. So whatever it is that you want for each specific one, you can choose that image. So I'm not going to make you go through and put exactly what you want in each one because it's hopefully going to change and you'll make different decisions and things like that. So you can just do whatever you want for this first one. For the first one, I'll show you what it is that you've done for August. Remember, you brainstormed, you chose your project, and then you started building this website. So if I go back to my Me and My Goal page, I haven't completed mine. Let me make sure I've got an image of myself here. Okay, why not this one? Okay. So I've got my image here. Oops. Doesn't get any bigger, which is fine. Okay, so here's my first page, right? This is what I first did for my website, and I can screenshot, and you'll have to Google if you don't know how to screenshot on a Chromebook, just Google it, right? I'm gonna screenshot this first Me and My Goal page. For you, your screen might be a little bigger so you can get some of your like goal in here, stuff like that. It's okay with me, but it fits the requirements because it does have me in it, right? For you, it should have a picture of you. It's your proof, and it fits the requirement that you have to be in all of your images. So you take a screenshot of that first page, and then I'm going to go back to my progress and documentation. I'm actually going to add an element above here and do the text with photo like I did the first time in my example website. And then right here, I'm going to put that image that I just did the screenshot of. There's my website. And then over here, I'm going to start typing for honors. It's 5 to 7 sentences. For regular English, it's 3 to 5 sentences per month about the progress that's been made, what you've done, different things like that. So I've got the checklist that's on Canvas. You can also get a hard copy in class if you want one that tells you what you could write for the progress and documentation. So for each month, you have to have a reflection paragraph that tells me about what you've been doing. Some guiding questions. You don't have to answer all of them. If you have something different you want to tell me, this isn't like a list of questions that you must answer, just can. So it's what progress has been made. How are you making a positive influence in your life or the lives of others? What's been the most difficult, easy, fun thing you've done? Especially with August, if you found it really easy to build this website or you really liked it, you could write about that. If you really struggle with technology and don't love doing it, you could mention that like this is part of your project, that you're learning this new platform to use. You can write about what's been meaningful to you, how you could make it more meaningful. And then remember, you have to upload a picture or a video, and it could be multiple, to your website once a month of you doing your project. And then as you go through, you just mark off which months you've done. I've got different due dates up here because I'll collect this checklist more than once to check throughout the year. And we'll just do the one paper. So once you've typed up your paragraph and you've clicked save, then you would be done with this element, and I could actually delete or move this part here because I wouldn't need it anymore, right? Because I've got my paragraph right there, and then I could just get rid of it because I wouldn't need it. So that is how to do your progress and documentation. If you have questions, always, of course, you can come in during charger time, and I am happy to help if you're struggling with images or whatever it is. Happy website creating.